We might be standing on the verge of something great.
High risk, high reward. I'm fucking good at it.
Hello, this is Schmear. We're about to get into the Industry Season 4, Episode 7 recap and analysis, but a quick programming note. We did not know this was happening at the time, so it goes unremarked upon. But in this episode, after we analyze Episode 7, we chat with the composer of the series, Nathan Micay. So we didn't know this was happening when we recorded, and only after were we able to set up this interview. An amazing chat with Nathan Micay, who's just the absolute coolest, talking about how scoring the series works and what his job really entails and so much else. And that is a great conversation that I don't want you to miss. If you're a new listener or viewer here, I just want to say thank you. Last week's episode with Max Minghella and our analysis of Season 4, Episode 6, Dear Henry, kind of exploded. Like, it did so well, and it's all thanks to you being so passionate about the series and enjoying the podcast. And I just want to say thank you. So with that said, let's get right into it. Season 4, Episode 7 of Industry. This episode is titled Points of Emphasis. And after we analyze it, we sit down with the composer of the series, Nathan Micay. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, we are here for the penultimate episode of Industry Season 4, The Titans of Industry. Jesse Aaronson, Sena Adjei, two hard fucking birds. That's what I'll call these two. Hard fucking birds.
We're not birds. Okay, anyways.
Well, why does it have to be gender determined?
It just is. You know? Ask the British.
I think the most salient point here is that, Schmear, your accent work has just gotten phenomenal throughout the season. It's just... I mean, I had to do a double take. I was like, is that Schmear or is that...
Well, I'm making a play for Industry Season 5, so...
We got to let that go.
Good call.
No, I'm kidding. Good call. Guys, before we get into Episode 7, Points of Emphasis, we had Whitney himself, Max Minghella, on last week.
We did.
Very different man than Whitney.
Like, unrecognizably different, yeah.
But so generous with his time and so cool. And I urge listeners or viewers to check that out. What'd you guys think of that conversation? Any thoughts about it since?
I've just heard him play American so much. I expected Whitney Halberstram's voice to come out of his mouth. And then he's just a very polite British man. I'm really surprised. Like, I had to get over shock really quick. I kept expecting to hear that. But it was great. He was so cool, man. I think we had a really good time. I think he had some fun with us at the end. I think we threw him for a couple loops, but that's what we do. And it was good.
Jesse, what'd you think? Actor to actor.
He was super thoughtful, I thought, in all of his responses. I mean, we already said super generous with his time, but I felt like he really was taking in the questions we were asking. And, you know, if you've listened to it, some of them were stupid as fuck, as we're wont to do.
And he still didn't answer hastily, though. Like, he still really like rolled it over in his head, which was, you know, not everyone does that. Sometimes people just want to laugh at us. So
no, he was great. And I think, you know, he seems like a guy who's very grateful for the career that he's had. He's obviously immensely talented, but he's landed in this incredible show with these incredible writers, incredible cast, amazing ensemble.
And all he did was really just highlight them, you know? Yeah, like just the whole time. Like, he's batting 1,000 here. Like, he's pitching a no-hitter and he's just only talking about Konrad and Mickey. I'm like, that's so nice. Yeah. It was dope.
Yeah. No, it was dope indeed. Well, enough of that. Definitely urge the listeners or viewers to check that out if they haven't. It was awesome. Max is awesome, and he's amazing in this episode, and we're about to get into it. Episode 7, Points of Emphasis. What'd you guys think of this?
I want to say that Mickey and Konrad did a lot of talking last season and ahead of this season about not their points of emphasis, but their points of reference. One of the major points of reference being Michael Clayton.
Michael Clayton, yeah.
And this episode was so Michael Clayton to me. There's a couple other things that it reminded me of that we'll get into, but this episode was the most Michael Clayton of all of them. I thought it had that, you know, I mean, just the fact that they were in New York was part of it, but it really had that cold, dark, gray, exacting, like the pieces are coming together, the conspiracy's unraveling, shit is getting really real. There are people who are like trying, like ducks, you know, paddling under the surface, but trying to stay calm. Everyone is trying to like tie up all these loose ends. And I found it very Michael Clayton-y.
Yeah, I think what's interesting, a lot of these episodes, especially the last episode, make you feel bad in a fun way. This one just made me feel bad in a bad way. I was like really on edge every scene. It like had like a nastier edge to it, like beginning to end, with like way fewer moments of levity for me. Like I chuckled a couple times, but a lot of times I was just like gripping my seat. Like, this is going horrible. Like, this is gonna, like the collision course is here, right? Like, we kept talking about it. Like, we need to set these characters up. The car crash is happening and I can't look away, but it doesn't feel great.
Yeah. I thought that this episode, you know, we've been with Fin Digest. There has been a journalism aspect to the season, but this is now a new side of journalism with the red top, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And that leads to like an All the President's Men kind of feeling.
Yeah, man.
And that was pretty dope.
They did the garage scene.
Yeah,
They
we'll get
straight
to
up
that.
did the,
Yeah. Speaking of All the President's Men, a lot of politics in this episode too.
Heavy.
And that's what the second watch really helped me with, because it is a little Byzantine, but it makes a lot of sense if you kind of just break it down. So we'll try to do that here. But then it just returns at the end, fortunately, to like really the heart of the matter, the heart of the show.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yasmin and Harper.
Yep.
I guess I liked the episode more on a second watch. The first time I did feel a bit at sea. I'm just going to be honest.
I agree with that, but I think that really goes into the whole kind of ethos of the season, which we've talked about. And I think it would be really worth having a longer conversation about when we wrap up the season. But this idea that every single episode is its own sort of self-contained mini movie. And some of the best movies, especially political thrillers, conspiracy movies, you watch the first time and you're like, I really don't understand exactly what's going on. And it takes that second watch to not only see the things that are coming, but also understand all of the inner workings. And so, you know, not everyone has the opportunity to watch these episodes twice before talking about them. But I feel very fortunate that we have, because every time I've watched an episode another time, and in fact, a third time with my girlfriend, you know, the week that it comes out, I'm like, oh shit, like oh my God, I'm really starting to piece it all together.
And also it really helps because so much of this show is just double speak, right? Like, it's like, even sometimes when they hit the nail on the head, other times there's like 3 conversations
Lies
happening.
upon lies.
Yeah, literally 3 conversations happening in one, and you don't put that together until you look a little closer and like kind of fine tooth comb it. And I caught more of that this second watch, and I was really appreciative of that, because the first time I was just kind of like, whoa, like we're flying. Like, I was just like, okay, well, you know, political room, like journalism room, I'm like, everybody's bugging, you know, it's like full hair on fire. But this time I was like, oh, I kind of get how each of these levers are shifting to create the current situation.
Yeah. I'm curious, you know, I feel like Game of Thrones has conditioned us to look for penultimate episodes to be almost bigger than the finales. Yeah. Did you have any of that expectation going in? And did it live up to that, I guess, if you did have that expectation?
Sena and I were chatting right before we started recording that, you know, after Dear Henry, it's a little bit like Dear Henry set the bar so high that the things that come post Dear Henry, like it almost felt like Dear Henry. I was thinking about that, Schmear, that Dear Henry felt like that penultimate episode.
Right.
And
which
now
is
we kind of
unique as the 6th episode.
Yeah.
Exactly. But with this kind of movie structure that they're doing, it's like, it's maybe not a perfect fit. But it definitely feels like this episode sets us up still for a lot of things in the finale.
That's interesting, because we'll talk about that at the end, but it feels like I feel the opposite.
Me too. I feel like I'm like, I don't know.
The finale's not going to be such a bang, but more of like
a knot tie, a bow.
I'm not saying a wheeze either, but like a de-escalation.
Yeah,
maybe.
The plane is landing.
You're right.
The plane is docking. Like, that kind of feels like what it has to, like
a dark, shitty plane. But
or they blow it up, or they just blow it all up. I don't know.
Did that last year.
Yeah. I don't
concede the point to Sena and Schmear. You guys are right.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, let's get into the episode. Let's walk through it, and should be fun. We get a Veritas Quo cock tease. That's what I'll call it. The Daft Punk song.
We get two cock teases.
We do.
We do. We'll get there.
And then we get the Promise cock tease from When in Rome, and that was mean. Because I was ready to jam out.
It was great.
I got musical blue balls.
That was perfect.
That's funny.
But yeah, both of these songs kind of in this moment when Yaz and Henry have a fight. This is directly after the Dear Henry letter, and they're realizing what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, the gravity of the situation. They're having a full-on meltdown, especially Muck is like, people hate Henry Muck this season. They're going to hate him more than ever after this scene. And it was powerful stuff. The flip of their dynamic in this conversation really shocked me, because in the beginning, season, we've been talking about, we're like, did Yaz whoop his ass? Like, what's going on? He is just like a baby. And you can't take away the fact that he's using at a higher rate again. And he's had this
and has mental health issues.
And has these mental health issues and also has been boosted up so high. His ego is like fever pitch. And now that same violent tone and violent like physicality is like flipped in a way that really scares the shit
It was in the Christmas episode when he beat the shit out of someone.
Yeah, of course. What I'm talking about in his dynamic with Yaz specifically.
I know. And then with Whitney, he kind of like flipped the switch last episode, it seemed a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Yaz here too. I don't think Yasmin's very scared of Henry. I think she's just saying the right words, the magic cues to just like bring it down. And I also see her wheels starting to turn as she learned about this information from Harper a little earlier than Henry did. So, she's already making plans, as we'll see.
I have to disagree about the fear side of it. I think that decision to genuflect and fold and tell him exactly what he needs to hear
was a response. Yeah.
She looks like a victim of abuse in this moment. And she has been, she says later in the episode, I'm not faultless here, but she has been abused. This is an abusive marriage in both directions. And yes, Schmear, I totally see the wheels spinning. And I do think it's a really good play that she does. But I think that play is born out of fear because she sees in this moment, there is no way through this marriage anymore. It's, we've reached critical mass of what we can do for each other, and she needs to get the fuck out. But I do think there's genuine fear there.
Yeah, I agree. I think there is a little fear there, but I also think like Schmear is right that there's like an immediate, like when her eyes get wide like that and she starts looking around while he's like holding her, there's a calculation absolutely there.
Totally.
Like she is just like there's light speed calculus of like, okay, I'm jumping off this ship and I'm leaving this. He's holding the bag, right there.
Henry's so immature. He's such a child. To me, it was her being like, let me tire him out and let him like have a tantrum and then let me fuck him over.
Like a baby. That's so funny.
All right. Well, we will get back to them. But, when you're screaming at your wife that I am a good person, maybe you're not.
And the world needs to tell it back to me. I thought that was a really powerful line because that's him. It's the quiet part out loud. I think a lot of people do move through the world with that, like that need. And like, I love that he put it in explicit terms.
It's above money for him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about being loved. Yes. Yeah. That's why his reputation keeps being like the inflection point for him. And everyone's like, dude, like what? There's money to be made. And he's like talking about how he's going to look in the press. And it's very interesting.
I think this is both a good look and a bad look for me, who's been probably the staunchest defender of Henry's like morals and his goodness as a person, because I do think what he's saying comes from a place of trying to be a good person. He's saying like the purpose of living life is to be better and to better yourself.
Yeah.
But the way he's doing
nothing he does like reflects that.
No, I know. And that's why I'm saying I think deep down at his core, he does want these things, but he absolutely cannot accomplish.
It's the cognitive dissonance and attention that I think has carried his arc through the season. And I think does not become less compelling for me the more it manifests in each of these conversations. It just becomes more. I think that's like a lot of people in the world feel that way, that people that just can't get out of their own way. And like, I still empathize with him.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to what's happening at Tender. So Tender is on its last legs and Whitney has a last ditch approach to maybe save the company. He says to Henry, I have to buy time, and buying time means buying up secret shares of PurePoint stock to take over PurePoint. And as Whitney tells Henry this multiple times, like fucking Kit Harington's face acting is just like so great. His disbelief at like the reptile that's seated in front of him. He literally
calls him one, yeah.
I love that scene at Tender at the table when that like the board is there and this cute guy is like, we need an audit. And Whitney's like, all right, all in favor? Yep. All not? Cool. He's like, yeah, cool, man. Cool. All in favor? Cool.
That is the best little bit of acting. I laughed at it.
It was so good.
Poor guy. He needed an audit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, this so reminded me of 22 Jump Street because he's like, fuck's sake, Henry, tell them how passionately you lobbied for me as our fearless leader and CEO. And in 22 Jump Street, it's like, go into incredibly descriptive details of the story we all know.
Yeah.
That's such an amazing pull.
Was that a terrible lie from Whitney or like a perfect lie from Whitney?
No, I think it was pretty good. I think he's threatening. Good. I think it's a threat. It's like a shot across the bow.
He's holding the gun across the table in that moment.
But like when he goes so big, like, do you think? I guess this gets to a question, and we'll talk about it this episode. But like, what is calculation from Whitney, and what is truth? And I wonder when he gets so big and angry and like lashes out at Henry, is this just part of the act?
He feels nothing. That's 100% him deciding to push a certain button to get the desired result. Like, I don't think he feels anything about the words he ever is saying. 100%.
But we also know that Ferdinand is now his handler almost and is at that table. Yeah. And, you know, he says Ferdinand running is not an option and like steals a look at Whitney.
Yeah. Threats all across the table.
What I was going to say is that I think this is the first time that we see the beads of sweat on on Whitney's forehead. He is a little bit scared and he's reacting rashly because he's not in control.
So you think that's an honest reaction?
I think it's a rash reaction. I think he's lashing out because he's like, for fuck's sake, like we talked about this. We need to do this because I'm fucked here and you're the one who's going to help me. So I guess.
Yeah, we'll talk about later why I think we get a reveal later on that is on the second watch. I was like, he's just like robot right now, just like trying to put in the right code to produce desired like outcome because of what happens later. But maybe he is feeling the pressure.
Mm-hmm. So Whitney says, cool, all in favor. and then all not in favor. And then Henry's little finger raise.
No, Henry raises for all in favor. He joins the yays.
Right. If Henry raises for all in favor, just a little.
So really such an actorly moment. I was like that's just. I was just like, he's just doing whatever he wants.
I really love what Nathan Micay is doing with this like kind of Inception like womp thing that's going on throughout this, and there's that great shot of Whitney walking across the tender office. He looks like fucking Darth Vader walking into Henry's office. It's terrifying.
Yeah. It's so scary.
Also so condescending because he's like, let it all out.
Go
Come
ahead.
on.
Yeah. Everyone's just trying to tire the baby out today. Like that's all they see him as.
Yeah. So they're going to head to New York, Henry and Whitney, to go to the AGM of Pierpoint, the annual general meeting, and they're going to try to declare a hostile takeover there.
This is just death row shit. Like, it was like, what are you doing? Like, the plan, even Henry's like, this plan is fucking stupid. You know, like, you can tell he's not in it at all, but Whitney's just staying the course. And they're having this conversation on the plane.
It's literally just fake it till you make it. Like, they're running out of time. Tender's about to be exposed. If they can pull this off, they
get some cover,
escape exposure. They go to a next more untouchable level.
Yeah.
So it does make sense to try to do it.
But the way that they're trying to do it, though, like at the meeting, it's like
crazy.
It's just crazy. It's just nuts. It's so desperate. And it's like, damn, dude, like they are out of cards to play.
So they're on the PJ over to New York City. And Henry asks, I heard you might have explicit recordings of me. And Whitney says, you think I'm capable of that? Henry's like, yeah. And then Whitney says, then you answered your own question, buddy.
So hard. It's so tough. Villain. Like, that's the toughest villain.
Yeah. And this is another spot when Henry's face is just like, what are you?
Yes,
like,
dude.
What are you? You are not human.
I think Henry calls out Whitney for his screen time. And, you know, I've been on a screen time journey this year. I purchased a brick. I wrote a little Substack about a brick. And I'm wondering if all of the problems of this season could have been solved if we just gave Whitney a brick and detached him from his device a little bit.
Which one?
How dare you? How dare you?
The weird sleeper agent one or the normal one?
If he is not by his phone, he is dead.
Chekhov's gun. He's done. Chekhov's gun. He's over with.
So just another detail about this plan. Whitney is kind of cooking it up with Wilhelmina, who we saw at the end of season 3, and she appears briefly in this season.
Yeah.
And Wilhelmina's like, this is a terrible idea, but you know, like,
maybe. Who knows? We can maybe.
I'm definitely grasping at straws, but because this episode reminded me so much of Michael Clayton on my second watch, I was like, okay. Wilhelmina, there's something kind of Tilda Swinton about her. There's the shot of Tilda Swinton.
It's a great call.
She's like brushing her teeth in the mirror, just like Tilda Swinton does. So I think it's probably, you know, making something out of nothing, but like just there's more Michael Clayton in here.
let's talk about Yaz, because after that fight with Henry, she goes into action mode.
Yeah, rogue.
And
goes AWOL.
I want to dedicate this protein shake I'm drinking to Sebastian Stefanowicz, the character that we're meeting. A former entrepreneur, wannabe political leader, and also possibly a Nazi.
Definitely.
Played so well by Edward Holcroft, who I recognize from the Kingsman movies.
Okay.
And just has like the handsome Squidward face.
Yep.
Like we were talking about clavicular
He was
before.
mogging, he's mogging.
Yeah, like he may have taken a hammer to those cheekbones once upon a time.
Those types, those clavicular alt-right weirdo types would rally behind his banner. So he's like an amalgamation of all of the current like alt-right figures and then made handsome. Like, bam.
And also just the name Sebastian Stefanowicz is such a, like, even if you just saw the name on paper, you go like, oh yeah, that guy's a right-wing podcaster.
Yeah,
like you just know it. We should have him on, actually.
He's on Aiden Ross's
guest.
Twitch stream or kick stream right now. Like, easily.
Yaz is basically at her kitchen table watching a debate between Sebastian and Lisa Dern. And
he's piecing these niggas up. He's really good at what he does.
Yeah.
He's really getting at them, which is very interesting.
As Lisa says, Sebastian, your constituents are Andrew Tate clones and Russian bots. And sorry, those people get elected sometimes.
Oh, yeah, a lot more lately.
So Yasmin gets an idea and calls her uncle or uncle-in-law. And I guess the idea is to create a fall person for Tender in the government to have cover for herself to get out of there.
Because of her actual, like, unethical relationship with the actual person that was backdoor dealing. They're going to set somebody else up so she has some distance from the entire spectacle.
So then we head into the halls of power where we meet again Ricky Martin with a Y. And if you remember from like the backdoor dealings, he's the one that pushed for Tender to go through.
Yeah.
And so did Jenny Bevan, who is in the pocket of the Norton group. It is not Lisa Dern, but it seems like Lisa Dern will be taking the fall.
Yeah.
She's too moral, too principled, too not about this bullshit. And those people don't survive the world of industry.
Nope, they do not. You got to play dirty to make it.
Jenny calls Yasmin and says, I need some help from the Norton tabloids, the Red Tops, which we can imagine is like the New York Post for London.
Yeah.
And Yasmin says, let's bring in Kevin. And I'm just like, this guy's not going to be any good.
Here comes Kevin.
He's the man for this.
And I think this is when Yasmin is talking with Norton and she's like, yeah, I know Henry's not going to make it out alive, but this is what's best for the family.
Yeah.
And then she shares that Henry's a cocaine and heroin user. And Alexander Norton, who has this like beautiful view of his nephew, no matter what happens, finally she's like piercing something in him.
Yeah.
And showing him the truth.
No, Yaz really opens up to Alexander here, I think. And he really, to his credit, listens. Yeah. I think, she doesn't have to tell him the ugly truth about the marriage, that, it's a sinking ship, but she does. And that's also part of the maneuvering, though. She knows that she has to curry favor with this guy to get, access to the papers. But I think they really talk to each other as humans in this scene, rather than just like, we're using each other.
Well, she is asking him to throw his actual blood nephew to the wolves in this conversation. Like, they're talking about the business of it, but he cracks straight to the core and is like, Henry won't survive this. Like, you are asking me to betray my blood, my surrogate son, and save you. And I'm not saying that it's completely false, but like, I don't think that if she doesn't deploy all that information about his behavior and his treatment to his wife, that he makes that decision. Because you can see him kind of cracking at the edge. Like, are you sure that we have to? She's like, we have. Like, we've done everything we could for him. And he's just got to pay. He's got to pay up. He's got to pay the piper.
It's an incredibly inscrutable performance from Marisa Abella. Like, it's so hard to tell where her head's at.
Yep.
And there's another scene coming up, but like, she's just like, is she playing the game? Is she upset? Like, I just have no idea. Is it both things at once?
Yes. Yeah. All of them.
Yes, and?
Yes, and.
What she's doing is so impressive,
Both
like you're
and,
saying, because she's playing the entire arc of this episode. And at no point do you know exactly what she's going to do next or what she's truly feeling, like you're saying. And I think that's really difficult to do.
Yeah. And I know the fans don't like her, and it's all go, go, go Team Harper. But like, as far as the performance and the drama and the show, it's just like incredible.
Top class. Yeah.
And it's harder to be the villain than it is the hero. I mean, it's more fun to play the villain, but like, she's just like, she hasn't won basically all season and still remains incredibly transfixing to me.
I agree.
So let's head over to the red top and meet Kevin, played by Pip Torrens. Just an utter ghoul. Just a ghoul.
He's a stooge. I like him.
In this office, not only is it a red top in terms of what's on top of, the newspaper, but like the curtains are red. And the scene when Jenny Bevan's in the office the blocking is so good because you have Norton in the back. You got Jenny sitting there. You got Kevin like as a king at his desk. And then you have Yasmin, like the operator, just kind of floating in the back. And, Sena, you mentioned throwing Henry to the wolves. Like Jenny's just like a little lamb in a wolf's den here.
Yeah.
She tries to grow a spine. She's like, journalism isn't about myth making. And they're like, shut the fuck up. This is not,
like, what are you
do you want to survive or do you want to die? Because this one's going to die and the other one's not. So
they're
pick
like,
your poison.
What are you, girl? You are not new to this.
Yeah. This is a scene I liked a lot more even on the second watch.
Too.
So I was just,
fun.
Appreciating it.
I really love this is an industry classic, but I love the kind of wild ADR line that you get as they're walking in. Did you guys catch this? As they're walking to the office, some like journalist in the background of the red top goes, "She thinks Princess Di was killed by the SAS." So fucking funny.
That's good.
It's great.
I just want to point out something about Yasmin, which is, like people have written about and made the connection with Ghislaine Maxwell because of her father being so much like Robert Maxwell and the boat being the Lady Yasmin and all this. And I feel like Yasmin teeters on this edge of not even being a good person, but like being an okay person.
Yeah, how bad does she want to be?
Absolutely evil.
Yeah.
And, she has this like blazer on with these high like 90s shoulder pads.
They've been doing that all season for her. It's been
just
great.
Looks like these like Ghislaine, Jeffrey Epstein, like pictures from the 90s that you see online. And I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From first episode, they like have really changed her silhouette in a way. It's like she's trying to puff herself up,
Right.
It's really interesting.
Are you talking about first episode of season 4 or of the series?
Of this series,
Okay.
when she's hosting her dinner party and she has those like almost
This season.
Sorry, of this
Well,
season.
the Brits say series, we say season.
She has this pauldron and it's a beautiful, beautiful suit jacket. But like,
it's great.
Her like the way that they've made different decisions around her wardrobe has been really interesting.
Yeah.
But like the decision she's making, she's tipping in a direction I don't really like.
Yeah.
And this is where we get my opener, hard fucking bird. Because, Kevin's like putting up such a front and like making this evil face. And then when the girls leave, like he just turns to Norton. He like almost has to laugh about it.
He's like, game, respect, game. That shit was hard.
And this is back to that Lady Macbeth thing. I mean, she goes full Lady Macbeth. She's like, okay, fuck it. Yeah. I'm just gonna, she's actually, it's not a great comparison because she's not bringing her husband along with her. Yeah. She's fucking her husband, but she's like, okay, leave it to me. I'll do it. She kind of gives a wink at the end of the scene and she's like, I'm going to take care of this, guys. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. So then she goes right to Harper.
Leave it to me. Go see Harper.
Need to do something a little
Stern headquarters.
Morally and legally dubious. Got to go straight to the master.
Yeah. So what
when do you
Yasmin's
think they dropped the towel? When do you think they dropped the towel from the name?
Immediately. She's pissed.
Immediately.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. They changed
I don't know if it's called just Stern, but like.
Stern's a pretty good name.
Yeah, it sounds kind of cool. So basically Yasmin's plan, and this also is a little convoluted, but I think I got it, which is that they're going to fake an internal government memo about, getting cozy with Tender. And then Finn Digest is going to pick up that story and then blow it up. And then the tabloids will blow it up too. And Lisa Dern will be caught holding the bag.
It's an acceleration tactic. They're like, okay, it's going down. Let's hurry it up and control the fall so I can exit.
And it's so dirty. But what I think is so fascinating about this episode is how everyone is down for the plan.
Yeah.
No matter what you think their moral standing is.
Yeah.
I think here we get one of the many theses of the season. In the end of the scene, Yaz says something to the effect of like, I'm just going to make sure that it's clear that I was a constant dissenting voice at Tender. And Harper goes, was that true? And then Yaz responds by saying, what difference does it make? And I think that what difference does it make could underline every single relationship in the season. What's real, what's fake. None of it makes a fucking difference as long as you do the thing that gets you ahead and fuck over the other person who's dragging you down.
And Harper clearly knows this is a lie.
Yeah,
like Yasmin didn't even need to come in with a lie. She could've just, I thought Yasmin could have just been like, hey, we're going to fucking leak this fake story.
No,
and you got to.
She can't expose any vulnerabilities willingly, but that's what the double talk is. Like, she's like, hey, this may be a lie, but you can't call me on it. And I'm not going to implicate myself by admitting being completely honest with you. But you know what's going on here, and our interests are aligned. So let's just do what we do.
She drops a Jerry Maguire quote: "Help me, help you." Yasmin to Harper. And I wonder, like, I just when I think of Jerry Maguire, like that is Tom Cruise saying that to Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, like a white person to a black person. I wonder if there's any connection there about getting them involved. But
that's good.
Could be an overread. Harper goes right to Burgess at Fin Digest. We knew that was coming.
Yep.
He's about 10 Guinnesses
drunk
deep.
as a skunk.
Yeah. He's had a rough year.
A lot of creamers.
Harper has a cider in front of her. I assume it's a cider. I don't know why, but she has like a untouched drink in front of her, and he literally has like 10 empties on the table.
Yeah. Good opportunity to carry Jim's torch. That does not go over well.
Not like that.
He does not like that.
That was
flares
a risk.
At that one.
It was a risk. And the minute she said it, I was like, that might have been a
I didn't write this down, but he's like, you do this crazy thing with your physiognomy where you convince yourself you're a good person through your eyes, but like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah. He's like, how she softens them. He's like calling out her operation.
Yeah. But he could be like the nicest person in the season and best person. Probably. And even he is up for this lie because it benefits him.
He's a low-paid journalist at a thing that someone refers to as a pamphlet. It's not even like a real fucking newspaper. So he's in it for the honor. He's in it for the real reasons. I think he is probably the guy with the heart in this season.
Yeah, even as it helps him though, I think even though it pissed him off, I think part of it is he's pissed off about Diker. Like, I think that is
this is the saddest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah, he's like really like, he talks about like his lost talent.
Like his son.
Yeah, he's like, bro, like even though you had to fire him, like you can tell that part of this is just getting even, like at its root, which is so interesting to me because, like you guys said, he's the heart. He kind of seems like he has those principles. When you killed his boy, like he's gonna stick a knife in you if he gets one handed to him, even if it's like kind of thick, milky in terms of its veracity.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and then we get one more scene about Yasmin, I guess, kind of weighing what she's about to do. And it's a call with Norton. And again, like, are these crocodile tears? They start as that, but then they turn into like an actual breakdown. And so I'm just curious, like, what really is she feeling? And I guess it is just this, like, half of me is betraying him. And then half of me is devastated to be betraying him.
Can I venture a theory here?
Please do, actor.
No, it's not about acting. It's about dance, monkey, dance.
Okay.
I think based on where we know that the episode is going, and I think if you're listening to this, you know where it's going with Harper and Yaz at the end. We're not going to get into that yet.
If you watch these or listen to these without watching the episodes,
that'd be crazy. Why the fuck would you care about us? Like, we're just three idiots talking for way too long about these shit.
We're having fun.
No, we are having fun, but I don't know why you would listen if you weren't a fan. Anyway, I digress. I think if you know where this episode's going with that incredible finale of Yaz and Harper together in the end of this episode, I really believe that Yaz is realizing she has lost the fucking plot.
Everything.
Everyone has lost the plot. And Yaz is like, okay, I'm done. I can't keep doing this. So maybe they are some crocodile tears because she's that Lady M and she knows that she needs to manipulate things. But I really do feel for her in this episode. And I feel the anguish and the pain in ruining the marriage that she really wanted at some point. I mean, she really loved Mutt at some point.
She needed.
Is she thinking about Rob?
Dude,
great point.
Dude,
great point.
I am. Everyone is.
I'm thinking about Gus. I'm thinking about Rob.
I'm thinking about Rob.
This is
big
3
time.
episodes in a row we're talking about Rob and how much we miss him. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but he landed a role in the Beatles movie.
I saw a great tweet which is like, I'm only going to care about the Beatles movie because of this little supporting character because Rob's in it. Yeah. That's how industry pilled I am.
All I'm saying is I really do feel for Yaz and believe her to a degree that I haven't believed her this season.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, this moment, it rang true to me too, because like she's just lost everything, right? Absolutely everything. She has been a tool in other people's designs, like every relationship she ever thought she could rely on, family. From birth. Family, family twice, like aunt to any sort of friends, her possible true love, now her husband. It's just like there is this like release, like this. I'm just like letting it go at this point. Like I am just being knocked around by these waves that are bigger than me, and I got to keep my head above water.
This is another digression, but I'm just so curious what you guys think. But like, yeah, with Yasmin, it's a little like, do you think she would have rather just lived in a world of unknowing and like, you know, like, of course she had all these terrible, even abusive influences on her, but like, did the world and plot of industry like wake her up in a way that you think she's thankful for, or is it just the worst thing possible that she's just grown up and seen the reality of her life?
I don't think she's thankful at all. I think it's because I don't think it's the truth of the world of industry, but it's not the truth of the world. It's one that her surroundings and her upbringing have forced upon her, right? Like there are people that just don't live like this, that just aren't living in anything even close to this. Like she should have gotten up and quit and left a long time ago, but it's distorted her in a way that I can't imagine.
I don't feel bad for her either, because, you know, Henry wants a child and to live like on a little cottage somewhere. Probably.
She forced him into this fraud nest.
Yeah. So I don't know. She's a tough character.
She's tragic.
She's interesting.
She is.
So back in New York City, Whitney has that Lithuanian passport ready. He's packing a duffel, and then he exits his hotel room in the middle of the night and gets his neck grabbed by this man.
Leather gloved hands. Just.
Well, I don't know if was that Ferdinand then, or
no,
I know he's in
it was the enforcer.
That's the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
That's our boy from
Oh my God.
That's our boy from the Diker episode.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. Wait, before we get into that, I want to say Micay and Konrad's direction has just been on point. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
But the little transition that we get to get back into New York is like this smash cut of a subway like rustling over the tracks. It's really jarring. And then Henry like stirs and is like something is amiss in the world. And then we see this thing. I just thought it's a little flourish that most shows probably wouldn't care to do, but in these mini movies and in this like incredible world they've created, they include it, and it did a lot for me.
I can't believe that's the guy.
That's him.
I was too startled and upset for my boy Whitney.
Yeah, I mean now I'm
even more upset.
But I'm 99% sure.
You're right. So, as we mentioned, Whitney earlier said, "If I don't pick up my phone, I'm dead." And Henry sees this and is calling him, and it's like, you know, maybe he's dead.
Yeah.
So Whitney gets fucking shuffled down to the car park, and immediately all the president's men deep throat, and
the exact same scene, which is
so good. So Whitney has been caught trying to exit this world and this life.
Yeah.
Ferdinand and Good Samaritan, Bad Samaritan, we can call him now.
Thug.
Super thug.
So they have caught Whitney trying to transfer money to Sunpath Living Residential Solutions, a Johatsu disappearing company in Saitama Prefecture.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know where that is off the dome? GeoGuessr? Can you?
I mean, I know it's Japan, and I looked it up.
Saitama, yeah, no, I know where Saitama is.
Johatsu is this practice in Japan.
No one knows where this place is.
Purposely vanishing from life if you are shamed. And it is too shameful to quit a job in Japan. So there are services set up for Japanese men workers to leave life in dignity. Mm-hmm. And that's what Whitney was trying to transfer money to do for himself. But I have a but here. Is this a smokescreen for a further move, or did he actually get caught? Because I love Whitney.
No, he's fucking caught. He's
the end of the road. This is the end of the road.
And that's what I'm saying. Everything before this
layers upon layers.
Everything before this was a calculation. Him throwing a tantrum in this moment felt
he does.
Now it's real.
The car
now it's real.
Yeah.
Got caught.
I don't know. I'm on like 60 chess with him. Maybe this was a ploy. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You guys are probably right.
$124,000 ploy. What was the end game? Like, he's just caught.
I also think it's really interesting, especially in this scene. This is just like full confirmation that Ferdinand is pulling all the strings, at least at this level. There's probably
and that
someone
was assassinated.
Yeah, you get that confirmation. But I think it's really interesting to go back and see earlier scenes with Ferdinand, he's just kind of this like, oh, like I'm a little Austrian man who's sort of yesing, and I'm just here to support. But when you go back, he's in his little lederhosen. When you go back, you can really see, like, especially in the board scene earlier, you can see
really
that,
like you know that throws you off because that's a silly haircut. But yeah,
the malevolence from him in this scene, you're just like, whoa, dude, this shit goes deep.
Yeah,
you guys ready for a season 4 rewatch?
Yeah, probably.
He says, while Tender has a pulse, it remains a very useful data set. And again, we mentioned this last episode, but someone on the board mentioned selling data. And remember what Ferdinand said. He's like, that is a disgusting idea.
It's like, dude, that's your whole point in being here.
Tender's real. Tender's beautiful. You're world class at this performance. Keep going, Mr. Whitney Halberstram. Big Nathan Micay bongs.
Dang, yeah.
And
Nathan Micay bongs.
I did like, he goes upstairs and then, you know, back to Henry being a child. He's like, go to sleep, little boy.
Yeah.
He's like, what was that? What was that, Whitney? It's like, shut the
get out of my face.
I owe someone money.
Yeah. Like, so that you never paid for
never
it before?
Paid for it? Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You think it's a pimp that's leather?
Yeah, prostitution.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm like, bro, like, Henry's not buying that. He's like, bro, come on. A pimp that tracked you down the minute you landed in New York. Like, he's like, this is scary.
All right. So then we head to this Pierpoint meeting the next day, and Whitney looks very ashen, looks like just like on death's door. And Jesse, have you ever had to act when you're not feeling well, when you're being extorted by Russians? How does that make you feel?
I've never been extorted by Russians, but
Yet.
I did have to do. I remember, I think it was my 25th birthday. I was hungover still at like 7:30 p.m. and all I'd eaten was like a taco, like a barbacoa taco and a cold brew. And then I had to go out and do like 2.5 hours of physical comedy.
Oh my God. That's my
Just
personal hell.
Just puke in my throat the whole time.
Thank you for being so revealing with
You're
us.
welcome.
So on that note, what do you think of Whitney's performance here at this meeting?
I mean, we've seen this a couple times this season. This like kind of, you know, desperation. It's not going
Hail
well,
Mary.
and then you think it goes well. Schmear, you mentioned the final scene of the Wolf of Wall Street a couple weeks ago, and even though you don't know that this isn't going to turn out well for him yet, there is that like motivational speaker quality. It's like, it's depressing. He's like getting up and he's just
a little like Reed is good, Gordon Gekko too.
Totally. And he's like, I don't have a question. I have an offer. And like, you know, he's really trying.
It's a very low key version, you know.
It is.
But it's also cringe as fuck.
It's totally cringe.
Like, I think that no one in the room was feeling that shit. Like his heart just wasn't in it. Like, he's deflated.
They all clapped at
There's
the end.
applause at the end.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's
you know,
not,
like,
it's not rapturous.
It felt like the polite applause that you see at these kinds of conferences.
Really, I disagree. I think it was like, whoa, he killed
down the gauntlet. Yeah. I just didn't read it that way. Like, even the second time, I was just like,
there's like this Heroes David Bowie inspirational
cover was crazy.
That was interesting.
It still felt half baked to me. His whole delivery.
We want speed. We want scale. We want certainty. We want America. This is what's etched into the soul of every industrialist. No, he's good. He is. He like, Jesse, are you thinking now? And I'm just curious your opinion. Like, he's just an actor, right? Like, he is just a world-class actor. He's equipped with the whole lexicon of the business world.
Yeah.
Is he like actually good at business? No fucking clue. But like, he is the best actor. Better than, you know, the West End actors, maybe.
Yeah. No, I think
more pressure.
More pressure for sure.
I think I said this to Max in the interview with him, but the more I watch Whitney in this season, the more I really just think of him as like this AI bot who just downloads whatever data is right in front of him, immediately figures it out, and then spits it back out because that's what the moment necessitates. And it's another version of that. He obviously has brains because he's gotten this far, but I think he's, to borrow a cliche, a master of none in a way. He doesn't really know anything. He's snake oil. Snake oil on the stage.
Snake oil salesman. I was going to say he's a salesman.
Why isn't he winning Oscars? You know,
we should totally
wrong
put him
profession.
at a Royal Shakespeare
maybe,
Company.
I don't know. Yeah.
So he's on the plane with Henry, and Henry's like, "Why did that Al Mirage guy like listen to you?" And he's like, "Maybe he believes in transparency. Maybe he used to date Haley."
Whoa, bomb! I was like,
Bang.
date Haley. He's like,
that was a direct reference to what Haley says in that scene with Yaz, right? In the previous
Is
episode,
he Mr. Dubai?
where she's like, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
She's like,
has
we
to
were in
be.
with this bank,
Right.
Al Margira, and Yaz is like, Al Mirage.
It all connects.
It's all connected.
Henry's freaking out because he's starting to get tipped off that he's just done for, and that the red tops are going to absolutely fry Tender, and he's the fall guy. And, Lisa Dern is, and he's freaking out, and very Bateman-esque. Henry,
so
relax.
Bateman.
So funny from Whitney.
Dude, this was the
relax.
most Bateman. As he's screaming in his face, "You can't construct a universe where nothing is real," and he literally hits him with the Bateman.
So good.
It's great.
You know why you can't regulate your emotions? Because you're a fucking child.
Finally,
God, and then knife, twisting the knife. I thought you hated your mother so much. Why is your mouth still attached to her fucking tit?
Yeah.
He says
That one was uncalled for.
That was a violation.
Dude, if I'm Henry, I'm like, is there an eject seat in this PJ?
I thought he was going to swing
need to
on
get the
him.
fuck. Dude, I did too.
I was
I
like,
didn't know
he's
what was
swinging.
going to
I'm like,
happen.
100%. It's done.
It is
Shine his
getting
shoes.
hot in that plane. It is getting hot in that plane.
Yeah.
But even more punchable than these two, to me, is fucking Ricky Martin with a Y.
Yeah. Piece of shit.
So
Misogynistic
he
asshole.
goes right up to Lisa Dern, is like, "You're fucking out." She's like, I'll discuss resigning. He's like, "No." Like,
You're
Wants it
done.
on his desk today.
Ricky's like a dark lord.
He's like
off the
gleeful
fucking
about
chain.
it, bro.
I
Like,
thought he was like a funny weirdo
No.
when we first met him.
No, dude.
he's an asshole.
Bad dude.
It's like, keep it short and sweet. You're too
Well,
romantic.
he's got like a puckish look, but like he is mean.
You can see
And
why he
is-
succeeds in the world of politics. He is a killer.
I wonder who the real world parallel for him is.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's got to be someone.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Stephen Miller, like, in the U.S.
No,
maybe.
he's more like Stephen Miller is kind of like a dweeb. Like, he's more like, he has more fangs.
I think
He's got
Stephen
some dark
Miller is
arts.
more than a dweeb. I think that Ricky Martin, though, is probably angling. We're going to find out who Ricky Martin is because he's probably angling for 10 Downing Street or wherever those crazy PMs live over there. But
all right, we ready to talk about Flock of Seagulls?
yeah.
All right, Jesse, you wanna take it away?
I mean, just about this nice sequence that starts with Flock of Seagulls. Yeah, I mean, it's great. Does it start with the flowers to Jenny Bevan, or does it start after that?
Starts with the flowers.
Yeah, so she gets...
It's a little... I mean, there's so many shows and movies that have a montage set to like a great pop song where like shit's going down, but I mean, it's not even a pop song, but I just think of The Godfather at the
It's
end.
a pop song. It's totally a pop
Very
song.
much so. Very Godfather.
Well, the Godfather... No, that's not a pop song.
Oh,
That's like... That's the baptism of the kid
Yeah.
with like everyone getting popped.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I thought
But,
you were talking
we
about
get-
Flock of Seagulls.
No,
I'm
we
like,
get I
that's
ran
pop.
from a flock of seagulls and like just, montage of shit going down. And it's just very satisfying, even if it's pretty like
It is.
awful.
Yeah. Watch all
very
the
Henry-
dominoes finally
Henry
fall.
is
You're like,
spinning the fuck out here. He's
Yeah.
freaking out
And
at the
reasonably
new
so.
temp.
like all he's been talking about this season is how he cannot deal with another catastrophic failure, another implosion. He's like on that razor's edge. And here it is happening in front of his eyes, out of his control.
Bigger than
no one
ever.
to call. Bigger and worse
Bigger than
ever.
Lumi.
Yeah, way worse than Lumi. Prison times on the table. Like, so of course it's just cracked his sense of self. He's more than dysregulated now. He's broken in half.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the LGBTQIA association is waiting at the tender door to talk to him.
We'll have to keep waiting. Over in the politics world, Jenny Bevan making it out alive, but gets this bouquet, like this death bouquet from Lisa Dern, saying it's with a note, "It's been beautiful to watch you flourish, you Tory," and just sends shivers down her spine. And yeah, Henry finds out that Yasmin has resigned from this new assistant that isn't Haley. Interesting. He calls Whitney another time where Whitney's not by his phone.
This scene was crazy.
Before it's revealed where.
This scene was
like,
crazy.
So then he calls Wilhelmina, the Tilda Swinton stand-in that Jesse mentioned. And she's just like crushing McDonald's.
Yeah,
She's
which is
chowing
such
down
an
on a
interesting
Happy Meal.
choice.
Oh, I thought it was so American. It was like, this is American capitalism right here. Like,
she's feeling
fuck it.
good. Fuck it. Let me
She's
get a
feeling good because she
get a Big
used
Mac.
Whitney's insanity and his crazy ploy as leverage for another negotiation, which she pulled off successfully.
Yeah.
That leaves Henry even more
fucked
out at sea.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And,
It's all fucked.
and,
She's like, "We're going to convert your bond. Like you're so fucked.
and
You're done."
it turns out that Whitney was never even was executing on the plan that
my
they had.
boy. That's my boy.
From the beginning.
That's my fucking Whitney.
And that's why the reveal that he got caught was real. Like, he was playing to be gone by the time any of this shit hit the fan. He was not making any real moves. He was just kind of like going through the motions.
How calm he was on the plane too, on the way back.
Yes, he's like, dude,
love it. I love this man. Moving different.
Yeah, man.
He is moving different.
Plans within plans within plans, dude.
Of course, we did.
Henry calls him, and then he finds the phone is in the drawer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Love that.
Very satisfying.
Face, another great face from Kit Harington.
Kid is just on fire
He's
this season.
Just been screwed every way you can be screwed. It's so like, it's like making me panic. I was like feeling really, really stressed out. I'm like, dude, he does not have a rung to grab onto. Like no lifeline, nothing.
We're almost at the end of the episode. So Yasmin is on the phone with Jenny Bevan. Is like
with her bestie.
Yeah, bestie Bevan. It's like, how can I be helpful in any way? We're friends. And Bevan's like, you're the fucking devil.
You're not friends. Yeah, you're.
And Yasmin reminds her, hey, you stepped into that office, and I'm kind of with her. Like, you did. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah. Like, I own. Like, watch your fucking mouth. Like,
I did not feel bad for Bevan.
Me neither. No, hindsight's 20/20 for Bevan. She tried to do her little desperation play at the Red Top office, and she tries to do the moral high ground here again. It's not working. Yeah. It's done. Yeah. It's over.
Yasmin also in a bathrobe, sipping Chardonnay. Yeah. Like
when Yasmin snapped and went in on her, I was kind of surprised. I was like, damn.
You know who loved a bathrobe?
Don't say it.
Charles Anani.
Don't say it.
He did. I'm just saying.
Oh Lord.
He's always robed up.
That's true.
He was living in that dressing gown. Yeah.
Mostly robed down.
Yeah.
And now we get the piano back from the song The Promise. And I got chills because also, you said, when does Yasmin know she wants to end it with Henry? And maybe it was before, but I also think Jenny lands a pretty good blow on her here. And I forget the exact line, but it's just like, your fucking marriage sucks. You've ruined that. You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And just really she says it more articulately than that. Mm-hmm. But Harper and Yaz.
Thank God.
Finally, some good fucking food. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have all been waiting for.
This has been so stressful. I needed this scene more than I needed my next breath.
The piano from The Promise is back, and then The Promise starts to play. And over at Stern Tao, Tender is down 77%. And
they're rich.
I think it's Sweet Pea who's like, show me dollars. It's like, yeah. Hell yeah. Love Sweet Pea's glasses, by the way.
Yeah. Sweet Pea, I just want to say this is real sidestep here, but I think when we do season awards, Sweet Pea is my candidate for best dressed of the season.
Really?
Fashion.
She's fitted the fuck out in every single scene.
I don't know. Harper with some of these suits, man.
Yeah. Well, Harper has the villain suits. Anyway, we'll get into that later.
So Harper and Yaz are at a bar, and I just want to say a line from the song The Promise from When in Rome.
If you
need a friend, don't look to a stranger. You know, in the end, I'll always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Oh, my heart. My heart, man. It's always been them.
These little girls.
Now big girls.
The true love story at the center of this show.
Yeah.
Yasmin says to Harper, you're the only person in the world I don't feel alone around. And they're really just, they're kind of a yin yang, you know?
Yeah, they are.
They are so different. They have a lot of similarities too. They kind of complete each other with their differences.
Yep.
Harper says, I would do anything to live in your body and see how the world opened up around me.
I love this line. Yeah, I know. I just thought that was so good.
I mean, it's very like therapy speak for the two of them. They're almost saying like the perfect things, but it's TV. Like, I don't care. Let them say that. You know what I mean?
They are saying the perfect things, but I think it's so satisfying for us because we've just been waiting for these two to be in any sort of concert together.
Yeah, just have it out.
This entire season.
Just have it out. Love each other, man. Yeah. Like, you guys are all the other person has left at this point for real. You know, like
everything around them is just crashing down. All the people that they've loved, thought loved them. Harper's mom, Ken, fucking Henry, everyone. Like, sorry, I called Eric Ken.
Yeah, Eric.
But you know what I mean. Everyone's just crashed down around them, and all that remains. I mean, Rob's gone, Gus is gone, and they're just like right there together. Yeah. The only two people that really know and love each other.
And I'm glad they say to each other, like, how did we get here? Because as viewers, we're like, how did we get here?
Yeah, we just went across the globe for an insane political, economic, like, thriller. Like, they are they are changing the world in worse ways together.
Yeah, I mean, they were girls. They were girls when we met them, and they are fully women now who are like, you know, taking down empires.
Yeah.
Sena, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what did you think of like the racial subtext here with Harper?
And that's what, and I wanted to talk about this. It's because the subtext it became the text, but it's always been present since they were roommates. Like all of that, like
they were roommates.
The privilege, like the relationship to each, like race for each of them. Yasmin being an ethnic woman, but white passing, like in the halls of power, and like the kind of things that were afforded to both of them because of that. Finally, them just saying to each other, like, hey, like, I love you for these reasons that I could never be, and I love you for these reasons I could never be, and I envy you for those same reasons. Like, them finally just saying it explicitly, and before, they'll call each other names, they'll send barbs, they'll take swipes, but here they're saying the thing in a way that I think had to be said finally for this show. Like, I really admired it that they finally took it there. Konrad and Micay don't blow their load on these things too early. They kind of save that stuff for when it matters the most. They wind that punch up. And I thought there was no better moment than this.
Yeah. I mean, this definitely is Yasmin being honest.
Yeah, 100%.
I just want to be necessary. I've never been necessary.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing dishonest.
Says, where does this come from? This need for control, this need to dominate.
Same place as you. Sorry.
Charles Hanani.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting fucked up by your parents. That's where it comes from.
I hate that our insistence on his importance has borne out, but
no, it is. I mean, it's created this character, and this character has done some crazy things. I mean, yes, this character has done some crazy things this season. Yeah. And I think it's very important that we know where she comes from and why she acts this way.
And in running counter to that, I think I've heard a lot of complaints about how Harper's background is not as fleshed out, but people don't understand that is crucial to her character. Like
by design.
It's by design, and her character cracks open the minute you give a Harper and mom flashback. Like the point of Harper is her isolation in this land,
totally.
Right?
And her reinvention as an American.
Like the minute you start, you do too much with the family and the dad. Like that, Harper's character loses steam, doesn't gain it, and people don't understand. They're like, I want to know everything about Harper's background. It's like you're not reading the show correctly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a terrible version of this show where we see baby Harper watching her mom wail on her brother at tennis practice, and we now understand why Harper. No, that would make me sick.
Subtle. It's just less clean. Like it's just a worse show for that.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
They're spinning tracks at this bar.
They are.
Then we get Only Time from Enya.
Yeah.
That was good. At a very intimate moment.
Also interesting that they used Enya, because Enya has stood for something else this season with Orinoco Flow. Just saying.
True.
Another line from Yasmin. I wish I was 17. So easy to make people do things for you. And that's kind of funny, but also pretty creepy.
Dark.
You're
it
saying
was weird.
Only when I'm underage did doors open for me.
Yeah.
Well, Haley, Al Mirage, Whitney's whole fucking cabal of sex workers.
So these girls are these young women are so close to each other. I thought they were going to make out. That goes to the classic industry thing. Like two characters could fuck at any time.
Yeah, literally at any moment. Everyone's bisexual. Yeah. I was rooting for it. I was kiss.
Well, they did.
And then they do.
Well, we'll get there. So Veritas Quo now comes in full, in all its glory. Daft Punk track. They're at the club because they want to just let it all go.
Yeah.
These are two of the best on ecstasy actors we have working.
So good. They're so good.
Especially Marisa Bella, the eyes closed, hair swishing,
the jaw,
thing.
Dude. It was
so good.
Yeah, it was.
I was
on ecstasy. I don't know what.
Yeah,
I can't relate.
I've read about it, but you'd think that maybe this has happened in real life. I'm not obviously guessing about their extracurriculars, but I'm like, this feels very natural. Their chemistry in this moment.
Yeah,
and they do make out, but I read that as a
friendship
that love each other.
It wasn't anything more than that.
There's nothing sexual about it. It's really beautiful, actually.
I agree. There's
the camera work and the lighting. It was all very, very beautiful. It makes you feel.
Yes.
I mean, again, I've only read studies about ecstasy, and as you guys are saying, so I don't know for sure what it's actually like. I've watched TikToks about it.
Okay, not a little too much mustard on it, man. Let's keep it pushing.
Don't police my mustard, Sena. But that, when all you can do is hug the person that you love, and you just have this outpouring of emotions, and that's what they do. They have to do that because they fucking love each other.
It was an their love and care for each other in that moment had to explode in a bigger expression. Not that
Also,
it was some sort of
they're
cheap.
on the edge of a cliff because like tomorrow Tender will open and go to zero.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Yasmin's going to be parachuting out of there too. Like it's just like this oblivion almost.
Yep, exactly.
Who the fuck knows what the morning holds?
Yeah.
All we have is tonight.
Yeah, tonight,
and that's
baby.
That's what they do.
And they're smoking what probably was the most delicious cigarette of their
It
lives.
looks so satisfying. Yaz is the best smoker ever. Like every time she has a cigarette, I'm like, this is acting.
And I think this is Yaz's line, but my lack of remembrance speaks to like it could be either of them. But she says, "We're here forever, even if we can't be."
Yeah,
so good.
What'd you think of that?
I just loved
It's
it.
beautiful. I think
it.
exactly what you just said. They're on the edge of a cliff. We are here forever, and it's not going to be forever. But in that moment, it might as well be forever because that's all that matters to them.
It's so sad and so beautiful and so touching. I just love it.
That's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
God damn.
Any thoughts before we go into the awards?
What's the next episode gonna? I'm like scared, excited.
What will the finale be like?
I just am like, what's gonna happen? We'll find out.
Have we seen the last of Whitney?
Who knows?
Maybe vanished into the night.
We're gonna take a little break, and when we come back, we will get into the episode awards.
This world will own you if you don't harden up.
All right, stock up. What do you guys got?
Stern's way up, baby.
Yeah. Also, Pure Point is up.
Yeah,
they're going to be fine.
Wilhelmina,
the institution did not suffer, and it never will suffer.
Up for Whitney for escaping both Tender and the Russians.
No, dude, I'm waiting for if he comes back. I'm ready for a leather gloved hand to grab him by the face. Like I'm saying, stock is very not up for him.
Whitney is bankrupt.
Yeah,
morally and financially, Whitney's bankrupt. There's no stock up for him.
Yeah,
up for Jenny Bevan.
Yeah.
Again, morally bankrupt. I mean, she's going to be fine in politics.
Very sweet, Jesse.
She made it out though, so I say stock up. Her career's intact, and you can't say that for everybody.
Her career's intact, but she's like, whatever. We don't need to get into her.
Stock down.
Muck is fucked.
He's in the red. He is underground.
Yeah.
He's buried. He's cooked.
Stock down the Russians. Tender's going down. The data set's gone.
Yeah. Lost the data set.
Good. Needle drop of the episode. We have a lot of great ones, but I'm curious, what is your pick and why?
I'm going to go Daft Punk because I love that song and I love how it makes me feel in the end with Yaz and Harper.
Yeah, I agree. I think that scene is it for me too. I was going to say, like, I think that moment is so like the best of industry for me. And I think that it's that as well.
I do have a friend who's a listener, shout out Mina, who said at the start of the season, I hear there's a Veritas Quo needle drop. I will elevate and ascend to heaven when I hear it. When is it coming? And here it is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I didn't want to
have to get feedback from your friend.
How's heaven, Mina? For me, it's The Promise from When in Rome, because that piano is just so like beautiful and nothing says 80s like that.
No Enya for anyone?
No, that's a nice one. Definitely spun it a few times after watching.
I would take all 4 of the needle drops in this episode, but Veritas Quo is my fave.
Best aphorism.
This isn't an aphorism, but can I just do best line?
Sure.
Like at the bar, the exchange between Yaz and Harper before they officially start going out is like, "You're going to take care of me tonight?" He's like, "When are you going to fucking start taking care of me?" Pause. Tonight. Straight into the scene. I was like, oh my God. I was just like, this is the best shit. I was like, this is amazing. Like that moment says everything about their relationship in that small exchange in a way that's so heartfelt and real. I'm like, I just saw the whole show on like fast forward in my brain in that exchange in a way that was just like, I loved that line. It was so good.
I don't know. I said it and it came in such a heated moment, but I just think, again, this is kind of an underscore for the season when Henry screams at Whitney, "You can't construct a universe where nothing is real."
Yeah.
It's a good line to live by, but it's not true in this world because people constantly construct
did for many
these
years.
fake universes.
Our lack of finding a true aphorism speaks to the absence of Eric Tao, because I feel like he always has the best cones and lines and stuff.
Facts.
Definitely.
Most Britishism. I have a few.
Hit us.
Yeah.
Acquit yourself of your charge, for I have long been prepared.
That was good.
Anne Boleyn by way of Lisa Dern.
That was good.
It's
been beautiful to watch
reference.
You flourish, you Tory.
Yeah, that was also
also from Lisa Dern.
Lisa with the bars.
Lisa Dern was also good in the podcast recording too.
Yeah, she was. The only person I'm in bed with is my husband. That was a great one.
Yasmin at the red top. It's what's best for, no, she says this, sorry, to Norton. It's what's best for the family.
Yeah.
Of course, I thought of The Crown because the family is, of course, literally a family, but also means like the corporation.
Literally means corporation. Like dead ass. The gang, and exactly.
We started the episode with this, but Hard fucking Bird.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That was good. Hard fucking Bird might be the one, honestly.
Guys, we have one episode to go.
Oh, I'm sad.
So sad.
Any predictions for the finale?
None. I have I wish I had a single, this feels like it was like that last scene felt like it just was the end of the series. I don't know what could possibly happen next. I got nothing.
I think probably series finale, season finale. I mean, they all go back to Pierpoint trading floor again. It just starts over again. It's just a loop. Rob is back. Gus is back. The dead guy's back.
Harper,
is the finale of Lost?
Yeah, exactly.
Harper shoots up in bed and this has all been a dream.
Yeah.
Oh God. Here's what I don't want to happen. I want the short selling to work and no hiccups with that.
Me too. I just want that done. I want that wrapped up. I want Harper rich. I want her powerful again. And I just can't deal with something going wrong at the end.
Will there be a return of Eric?
I don't think so.
Dude, that walk-off is final. He's gone.
Okay.
Makes me sad.
I'm wondering though, what landmines are left to be stepped on by the characters?
Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney's kind of the loose thread still.
Yeah, that's the main one that needs to get tied up here, Whitney.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure chatting with you as always. This was fun. We are almost done. One episode left.
What would my life be without this on Sundays?
Can't wait to chat with you guys about that soon. So
thanks,
thank you guys.
All right, bye-bye.
We're under siege. We ride together. We die together.
Well, we are so excited. The Titans have added a fourth. It's Nathan Micay, the composer of Industry, all 4 seasons, and an incredibly talented EDM artist in his own right and DJ. And I think, we're just meeting now, but we've DM'd, we've chatted. You seem like a lovely guy too. Canada. How are you in this world of such mean assholes of Industry? Are you ever just are they ever just offending your kind sensibilities, or you're with it now, having lived in Berlin for all these years?
I mean, sort of to sum up this whole mindset, back when I was a DJ, I used to DJ at this club here in Berlin called Berghain, which I guess is it's the reason I moved here. They used to book me, and it's this famous hedonistic club where everything happens. And one of my best friends flew out from Toronto to see me there, I think the second or third time I played. And he's like, you are the most boring person to ever play in this sex dungeon. And it's I'm coming home and I'm reading manga. I'm not staying there after my set,
What are you reading right now? Kagurabachi? What do you want?
I'm reading Monster right now.
Monster's really good. One of my favorites. You should read Pluto as well if you haven't.
Oh, we're past Pluto. I'm off to Japan
way
tomorrow.
past Pluto. 21st Century Boys?
I know, that's next.
20th Century Boys is one of my favorites. Yeah, no, we're okay. If you're a manga dude, we're gonna have some conversation.
I mean, if I just turn my screen here, it's just shelves of manga.
Oh my God, you and I are talking the same language.
You guys got to get on another interview here, okay?
Yeah, sorry, it's gonna be something separate. Okay. What I'm hearing, Nathan, is that you can get us into Berghain.
Oh, dude, I have absolutely no sway there. I played my set there in October, and Mickey and Konrad came out, so they can vouch for this, but I ended my set with the Macarena, and I don't think they'll ever book me again. I think that's it.
Fuck. Why'd you do that?
It's a big kiss off.
We needed you.
I'm 35. I'm trying to relax. I don't need to be there.
You're growing out of that
I
age.
go there now. It's I'm DJing a bar mitzvah. These kids are 15. They don't even know what the Macarena is. It was just everyone over 30 knew the dance. Everyone else did not,
What dances are the kids doing at the bar mitzvahs these days? For us, it was we were playing Coke and Pepsi. It was the electric slide. We did a little Dougieing, I feel like. Yeah, Soulja Boy was huge.
It was Soulja Boy.
What are they doing now?
That's our generation.
They're snorting cocaine, and
we're going to cut that.
No, we're not. Don't even dare. Don't you dare.
All right, let's get started, Nathan. I want you to tell us about Blue Spring, the track that started it all.
Yeah, sure. I wrote that in 2018, I guess. It was the first track of the album that eventually became the title track too. And I remember that day I came home from IKEA. I was very frustrated about this carpet I got. They packaged the wrong carpet, and I'm I'm going to take out this energy I feel in this track. I was feeling bittersweet, but also excited to be moving into a new apartment. And it ended up being this sort of track that I've never been able to capture a feeling I had so perfectly on a track. And somehow it made its way to Mickey and Konrad over the course of the next year. And then I used to teach at a volunteer center for music here, and I was just teaching my class. I get a text saying, hey, can you come to London the next day to talk to, I just forgot her name, the woman who did Girls.
Lena Dunham.
Yeah, sorry, Lena Dunham. Yeah, can you come talk to Lena Dunham?
She directed the pilot.
Yeah, that was the only information I was given. I didn't even know I didn't know Mickey and Konrad were a part of it. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And then I got there and it was Mickey and Konrad, and they were just like, Blue Spring, tell us about it. And that was kind of how the interview started, more or less. But yeah, long way of answering. It was just trying to capture, now as Mickey puts it, the feeling of grown men crying. And that was pretty close.
Yeah. It's such an evocative track. I mean, every time you hear it, it's just like,
oh, thanks.
It's chills, really.
It's funny to hear it now because I wrote it like 8 years ago.
We also want to know, what are some of your favorite music cues from this season? We have our own, like we have our faves, but like I want to know, like you as can put like the person that's scoring this incredible show, like what stands out to you as your favorites?
I don't know if this is one that like sort of jumps out at you at first. I know it's my favorite, and also Ollie White, the music supervisor who picks all the tracks. He's also kind of my boss throughout the season. The cue where Whitney sings Whitney Houston to Harper on the phone. That's like a very long, if you rewatch the scene, it's like quite a long cue with many different styles and jumps in it. And it was done pretty much on the first go around, aside for a couple of small tweaks. And I'm pretty happy with that one. It's just got it's got this crazy synth thing that happens at the beginning. And then you have these beautiful chords while Harper's talking about funerals. And then Whitney just starts singing and it gets so creepy. And then it has this huge jump to Whitney saying, "Dear Henry." And then it gets really weird and dark. And then once,
that was a good Max impression.
Thanks. I heard your talk with him on your last episode. I had no idea that was not his real voice. It like blew my mind. Anyway, and then that cue ends with Ferdinand being like, yeah, so Russia. And there's this like sexy, Mickey was very adamant about that scene being like kind of sexy. And there's these like sexy vocals that come in. So that one I'm pretty happy with.
I literally just saw a tweet about you, and it said,
it was on Twitter. I am off Twitter. I have no idea.
Good. That's great. You should be. But it's when like Yasmin threatens to call security on Harper, and it said Nathan put his whole synthussy, like pussy, into it. And I was like, we're just creating new words for this. Yeah, that part
is fucking sick.
See some of the stuff. I get sent a lot of messages. The only social media I still kind of check sometimes is Instagram, which is how we start chatting. But I get sent like essays on some of the cues I did. People have so many thoughts put into it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. With some people who are like actually trained in music, which I'm not really, they start putting all these big terms on things, and then I just get confused.
It speaks to what you've created for the show, because the show would not be the show without the Nathan Micay score. It's iconic.
I really appreciate that. Yeah, the best message I ever got after the first season when I started Twitter, I don't know who it was, but some analyst at CNN during COVID, everything was just still crazy, and he was all caps. I've been up all night listening to the industry theme. We're gonna make it through the night, baby, and that was it. I still don't know who it was. But anyway, one more cue.
Jesse, that relates to your question. I mean, about the Social Network, which I feel is like a score that people do play all night to work.
Totally, yeah.
I'll let you take it.
We've been debating back and forth on whether you are interpolating in motion from the Social Network, or if you are actually, I guess, laying it into your track. I don't really have the terminology, but there's a couple times where that.
Yeah, I know the cue you're talking about. Pretty much they would just like capture the energy of that movie in these 3.5 minutes.
Perfect.
And then I thought it'd be a funny thing to just start with that one bass note that starts and then
iconic.
Yeah.
It's that one bass note, and then the track completely switches to a different chord progression and everything. I've seen some people being like, it sounds the exact same, but like you'll hear the full thing. I mean, the whole thing's out now. Anyone with ears can hear it. It's totally different. Yeah. They diverge pretty quick, but I thought it was kind of a funny, like, wait, what? And then switch.
No, you really got me hook, line, and sinker, because I was playing the in motion on my phone out of my speakers, and then I'm like clicking the track on my computer, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm like, wait, it does switch, but I can't figure it out. It's really subtle. It's really
pretty
cool.
much. It was like, anyone who's worked in scoring will tell you, directors or showrunners come to you and they're like, here's a temp track. Here's something a reference we're really on. And they do that on Industry, but this was the first time where they were like explicitly kind of like capture this for us. And I thought it was kind of a funny, cheeky homage. And I also really went for it because I know that this season's such a season of homages.
Mm-hmm. It is. Like, it is. It's a love letter to a bunch of stuff.
And as a musician, I don't often get to do that. And I'm constantly freaking out about, I never want to rip anyone off or sound close to anything, but I thought this was an opportunity to kind of do that. Like The Social Network now, it's about like 17 years ago. So when that came out,
that's scary.
When that came out, I was in university, and obviously it was it was like a groundbreaking score. It's funny though, like on a day-to-day basis, I'm not as influenced by the score as people think. I think it just happens to be that I make electronic music for a show about money, and now.
Well, Mickey and Konrad cast Max Minghella in it, and who was the star of Social Network, and the plot relates to it. It's not your fault, like of course people are gonna, their head's gonna go that way. So you kind of just mentioned it, but I would love to know more about the work process. I think a lot of listeners and viewers would love to know, like, when are you first seeing the show? What happens next? Do you have these like big picture conceptual conversations with Mickey and Konrad before the season? Like what's a day of working on this show? Or let's say this season, what is that like for you?
Well, I think it's important you said this season because the workflow and structure really was different in the first and second one. The first season, we were speaking very much to the director at the time who sort of took the helm of everything, this guy, Ed Lilly. And then on the second season, they had this woman, Jamie, come in to sort of help supervise things. And then in season 3 is when Mickey and Konrad really were like calling all the shots, and they were my main sort of people to speak to. But next to them as well, I've got Oliver White, who I mentioned earlier, who's the music supervisor. He's like this encyclopedia of music. He just always seems to have the perfect needle drop, but he also keeps me in line. So the way it all starts essentially is we have what's called a spotting session. We all essentially watch the sometimes unfinished episode together, and we make a giant spreadsheet that we call a cue sheet. And it's kind of like, all right, Q1 starts here, ends here. And then I have like Mickey and Konrad's notes, Oliver's notes, my notes. And we also have a guy who works with us named Dan Elms, who's the music editor. And his job is essentially to take all of my music and all of the licensed music and place it in the show in a way that's seamless and mixed in and everything. And because the show just has so much score, it has much more score than your average series. Like it's like 45 minutes an episode sometimes.
Wall to wall.
Yeah, it often is, especially in the first 2 seasons. So what we've done to sort of make it possible for me to do that is I've sent Dan like little 1 or 2 minute pieces, and he has all the individual parts for those, and he's just playing around, putting them throughout the show. So it's often that I'll watch the final thing and be like, I don't remember that scene at all. And then it's because Dan was working on it with my music.
What will a note from Mickey and Konrad look like, for example?
It can be as specific as like, at this millisecond, we want this, make it very sad. They'll even sometimes send me a reference. Konrad once called me out of the blue and he just said, I want you to watch Manhunter by Michael Mann.
Hell yeah.
And I want you to think of one scene where he's on the airplane having a vision. And I was like, okay. And that was specifically for the scene in episode 3 where Eric and Harper really get at each other and things are said. So there'll be things like that. And then other times, honestly, they'll just say like, make it sick. I got a really good text this year from Konrad just saying, make me touch God.
I mean, I feel like, Nathan, you made me touch God multiple times this season. So
Baruch Hashem, I'm glad.
Yeah. Very simple question based on that. If you had to sum up the score of this season in one word, because it's very different, as you said, from seasons 1, 2, and 3, although it's of a piece. How would you sum up this season? If you can do it in one word.
One word?
One word, or like a couple. Sorry, you can do it.
Well, one word, I'd say black hole. Like,
nice.
As the season goes on, it just gets darker and darker, in my opinion. And the music very much reflects that. If that wasn't clear in the last episode, like that was some of the darkest music I've put together for the show.
Yeah.
And I should also actually say that for the first time in my career and also working on this particular series, I had to bring in someone to help just because the workload was so crazy. I brought in someone named Tori Letzler, who lives in LA, and she was primarily responsible for that like drone sound during the Harper press conference. And she's like a real pro. She knew how to like get that sound down exactly. But yeah, I'd say like black hole, if not that, just like increasingly dark. music. I don't know.
I mean, I said to you that I heard a little bit of Hans Zimmer, which felt new to me. Is that an influence in this season? And his movies, of course, like Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight, they are black holes, you know, like sometimes of intensity. Is that a comp that you're trying to ratchet up to, or that's interesting to you?
His name didn't come up this season specifically, but it did come up in other seasons. Like there are small little moments. Like for instance, in season 3, when they're doing the Lumi launch and everything's going chaotic and Yasmin's having like a mental breakdown on the floor and Eric gives her a pep talk, I was very specifically told to channel Hans Zimmer for those chords.
Nice.
You can't really hear them that well. That's something that's funny about working on the show is that like you spend so much time on the music, getting all these details and everything. And then
it might not make it in.
No, it made it in, but it's just behind all the people yelling and all the phones. You actually don't hear all that much of it. But yeah, in this season, the name Hans didn't come up, but they sent references of like, pretty much they just kept saying Michael Mann Heat and Michael Mann Thriller. And so as you can hear, like the music's much more like of a thriller pace. And in the odd time I've checked Reddit, that seems to work for some people. It seems to not. But it's like, I see season 4 as like almost a new show. I mean, it's such a faster pace.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, your score helps someone like me. I'm very, very stupid in terms of finance, and I don't understand any
I used
of
to be,
it.
now I know.
Yeah, well, you know, but also I guess you've tapped into something, because I understand always what's up, what's down, what's bad, what's wrong. And I think that's really thanks to you. Like they could be speaking Japanese, but when that score hits, I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm on track.
Well, that's a note I also get from making Konrad sometimes too, when it's like, especially in like the second season, the stuff with Jesse was often entirely over my head. And like the scene where Harper kind of screws over Rishi doing the like hand flip or whatever, I did not understand what was going on, but they were like, most people also won't understand, but we need you to convey that this is like a betrayal and like the most serious stuff that could possibly happen, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then sometimes they'll also say like, we need you to really convey that this is a victory or this is sadness. And that it's funny, actually, that's like a cue I'll also get on I've worked on other series where they're just saying like, this actor was having a bad day. This was the best take we got. It's not quite as sad as we want. We need the music to really enhance it. Can you make this much happier or whatever it needs to be? I'm also, I think, one of the last parts of the equation of putting together any sort of production. So they have the best cuts or takes or edits that they can do. And I'm sort of the last thing to really take it where they want. So often Mickey and Konrad will just be like, we need you to make this the most epic thing ever. Touch God. Or something.
That's great.
Speaking of them, when you're out with them, whether it's Berghain or somewhere else, what's their style? Are you getting them to move with which tracks? Like, are they chilling? Are they dancing? Do you know what to play to get the people? And I mean, people, your two bosses really jumping in the club.
Well, it's funny. So I did the music for a big fashion show in Milan like 2 years ago almost. And I had 2 guest passes and I was like, who are 2 people I know that actually care about this stuff? Oh, Mickey and Konrad. So they were allowed in and we all got to hang out. And they actually took some of the tracks that I picked for that fashion show into this season. Like, I don't know how to say it. Tai-Shi. Like the track when Henry and Yasmin and Haley are having like their little dalliance, you know.
That's a great one.
So that was straight out of that. So that one clearly works for them. And then Ollie and I have a pretty similar sensibility. He's also a DJ, but he's actually like still an active DJ. So like we would have had a lot of crossover anyway, but I can tell you, you know, they liked the Macarena at Berghain.
Fucking millennials.
And they're the best dressed people wherever you go. I mean, I've only hung out with them in person like a number of times, but they're always, I have this thing as well that like when I first flew to London, I realized I was in such a rush to get out the door because it was so rushed to buy this flight and everything. I forgot to put on socks. And so at the airport, I bought just some socks and all they had were socks with food on them. So I remember showing up being like super embarrassed. And then now I'm even more embarrassed hoping they've never brought it up, but I hope they didn't see those socks because they're like the best dressed people I know.
Well, let's hope they don't listen to this interview for your sake, so you don't get blackballed by them.
I'm bringing them into the fashion world now, so at least I have some credit.
Yeah, right. They should be thanking you, dude, for real.
Razoblachania on them, or whatever the Russian compromat word is.
Nathan, do you have a club that you think, maybe besides Berghain, which, you know, has an infamously incredible sound system, Is there a club off the top of your head that you think has the best sound system in the world, either London, Berlin, or elsewhere?
I can tell you a couple. I don't know if this club still exists, but there used to be a club in Washington, D.C. called Flash, and that had really good sound. There's a club in, oh God, it's a Swiss city, not Geneva. What's their other big city?
Gstaad? Zurich?
Zurich, sorry, yes, thank you. In Zurich, I'm not sure it still exists, but there was a club called Zukunft, which just means like the future in German. That was unbelievable sound. And then the last thing is like every time I played in Japan, the sound is just miraculously good.
I feel like they just, anything technological, they just do it to a T. They just are like, we see what you guys do better.
Yeah, it's like I once went there and I went to see like a reggae night, and it just clearly they'd found some like reggae dub rig from like the 70s and brought it out just for that event. Like they really take it seriously, whatever they're doing there.
That's crazy.
So you mentioned Ollie White a couple times. He's the music supervisor for the show. And I'm curious if you have any input in the music supervision, because I feel like that and the score need to work a bit hand in hand. So if there's going to be 80s pop songs, does that change the way you do the synth? If the synth is going to be one thing, does that change the music that's selected as far as the soundtrack? How does that kind of work?
So by the time I come on, poor Ollie has been working on the music, not only the music licensing and like the picked music or the licensed music, but he's putting down what they call temp tracks. And out of every show or film I've ever worked on, this is like the most meticulously temped show. And Ollie is incredibly diligent and good at finding like all kinds of stuff to fill gaps. He edits them very meticulously. And so by the time I come on, it's like we have these meetings where we go through the episodes and try to figure out what sounds should go where, what are the moods, when they start, when they end. But Ollie's actually mapped out quite a lot. That temp isn't like sacrosanct. It doesn't stay necessarily, but it's always sort of, I'd say at most it shows when and where its tracks should come out. And at this point in the 4th season, most of the temp is just me anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I actually wrote it down the other day. I was trying to figure out how many hours of music I've written for this show. It's 15 hours of music. So,
wow.
Jeez.
That's, of course, including a lot of repeated themes and stuff. But that's like, if you were to add up all the cue sheets of how much score, it's about, between 4 seasons, it's about 15 hours. So it's like 32 hours of television, right? So anyway, all is to say is by the time I get on, the tracks are usually chosen, but I've been on a few conversations where it's like Mickey and Konrad will ask, how are we doing licensing this track? And then they have to sub something out. Yeah. There's been a few conversations where
they got the budget this season. It seems like they got every song they could ever dream of
in the show,
I've been playing, The Promise from When in Rome, like so many times since I heard that. I've been spinning
Orinoco Flow nonstop. I just can't get off that.
This season, that Ultravox. Yeah, the Ultravox is awesome. Man. But one other thing about this season, just before I continue on that thread, is like, you might notice there's like weird covers a lot this season. Like they wanted to get Lilac Wine. I ended up having to do a piano version of that. So this happens quite a bit where it's like, hey, we have the rights to the publishing, but not the song. Can you do a quick little...
Can we interpolate it?
Yeah, Heroes so like, I couldn't even find that Heroes one online anywhere.
Yeah, like you won't find... Yeah, like I'm not allowed to release that, but it's in the show, Yeah. And you guys also, like, I was... In the first episode, the music that's playing when they're at the boardroom and Whitney gives that speech where he's like,
love that scene.
That's the first part of that's my score, but the second part of that with the horns and stuff, that's famous piece from the 1600s called Queen Mary by Henry Purcell. And you might notice it a lot in the second episode. So again, that's an example of like, they had the rights for me to do it. Cause it's sort of like an open, it's such an old piece of music and it's so famous for being in Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
And Wendy Carlos did their version of it. So I got the rights to do a reinterpretation of that. So at the end of the first episode, that's me doing what we're calling the industry version of the Funeral of Queen Mary.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we talked a little bit before about this. You have a manga collection. We're talking the same language. But what does the film Akira specifically mean to you?
Like just as an entity or the music?
Both.
I mean, as an entity, like you can't really see it, but that poster there is like an original art from the movie. Like
You're ahead.
Like this. Wait, where is it? This red thing on the shelf behind me is an original 1992 Kaneda on a bike. Like there's no other piece of media or like literature that has hit me as hard as Akira.
Me too.
Like I've got the box set over here with the mangas. Like, it's just on a few levels, like the world building is just so supreme. And B, I also just look to Otomo as a source of inspiration sometimes. Like the guy did the whole thing by himself over 10 years. And if I'm freaking out over writing, 4 hours of music in 3 months, I'm like, well, he could probably have done that,
Yeah.
And then just like in terms of like the film itself, it's just this, even like that, the Kaneda slide on the bike. It's
it's iconic.
Yeah, it's like there's like a YouTube compilation that's 6 minutes long of people just doing that, and each time they use it, it's like 6 seconds. So it's like
I've watched the exact YouTube video you're talking about like multiple times. It's so entertaining.
In the last season, in the first 2 seasons, we didn't have any drums in the score, which is pretty. There's like a shaker, and that's kind of it. And then the third season, they're finally like, okay, like we know you're obsessed with Akira and all that, like go for it.
Here's a bone.
Threw you a little
the
bone,
scene where like Rishi's doing coke in the elevator before he goes to like try to collect for the syndicate to pay off.
Nice.
Like if you rewatch that scene now, you'll hear just like there's huge taiko drums. And in this season, the scene where Henry's on acid in episode 2, that was me doing my best to just go full like Ghost in the Shell, Akira.
Nice. I gotta replay that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Score just because if you really listen to the music when the soundtrack comes out, like the amount of reverb changes and drum recording, it's complicated. But that was like the most fun I had doing a Q this season for sure.
Nice, dude.
So I think you're one of the best in the game right now, but I want to hit you with some of your contemporaries and their soundtracks and get your take on them, if that's cool.
Sure.
So Daniel Patton for Marty Supreme. Have you seen that film yet and heard that soundtrack?
Not out in Germany until like.
Oh, that's sad. You're gonna love it so much.
You're gonna.
I know you love his Uncut Gems. His Uncut Gems score.
I love the score. I can't watch the movie again. It's just too much for me. But
stressful.
I'm a huge admirer of his and fan of his from just his OPN work. Like if you go
like the vaporwave stuff,
like OPN shirts. I have the merch. But no, his album Garden of Delete had like a huge influence on me.
Nice.
And I just admire everything he's accomplished. I sometimes joke in my head that like I'm the Salieri to his Mozart.
Nice. We like that.
Hopefully
you're the Mozart. You're the young gun.
Yeah, true.
But
you are the young gun.
Yeah, I just look at my fireplace and think it's not God laughing at me. It's OPN.
That's
but
great.
Yeah, huge admirer of Daniel's. We've never met actually, but I think we've had so many mutuals at this point. We probably will at some point. And
I think you'll love Marty when you see it.
I think you will too. What about Nicholas Britell from Succession?
I respect the Succession score big time, but I'm a much bigger fan of his work on Andor season 1.
Ooh. Nice.
You are talking our language. Do you know how much we love that show?
I love that show. I tell everyone I know to watch that show, and nobody ever listens.
Season 1 or season 2 for you?
Well, score-wise, he didn't do season 2, so I can't comment on that. But
I meant for you, like in terms of which one you prefer.
Oh, I liked the first season because it's got all these like off-kilter weird synths and stuff. And I've read so many interviews with the composers at this point, the new composer, that it's like it was a very conscious choice for them to move towards the Star Wars palette, let's say.
Okay.
So season 1 for me, but as a show, season 2 was just unbelievable.
I love that. Yeah.
And he did Moonlight as well, which is great. And I've always had this like weird theory that the score of that is very influenced by Fiddler on the Roof. If you've ever
Interesting.
seen that. Wow. Fiddler on the Roof. It's got this motif that I've always been curious to ask him about.
I kind of know what motif you're talking. I would never, in a million years, I would never have come up with that. That's why they pay you the big bucks and I get paid nothing to interview you. What about Cliff Martinez Drive?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Like I get a lot of messages too being like, you sound like Drive. And I actually haven't seen that movie, but I've heard parts of the score.
Fuck, I messaged him that a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. That's why
I'll show myself out. No, you asked
music.
You asked me to analyze the music cue when Sweet Pea's on the beach in Ghana. And I was trying to explain it with my lack of terminology. So that's what I was attempting.
You did a good job. Okay. But I mean, he's another one where it's like similar to, like, I'm very familiar with Trent and Atticus's work at this point, which is funny. Like with them, the score I think of the most is Soul. I love that score. But
Really?
but I wouldn't be like, I couldn't say I'm like a scholar on their other scores, especially like The Social Network. I don't know it inside and out. Like I didn't realize how many people did, you know? But Cliff Martinez, I just bring them up because he's a similar example of like sort of pioneering more second generation synth scoring. And when I say second generation, I guess I'd put the first as being like Vangelis, Tangerine Dream.
We got those coming.
Yeah, sure.
Are you on our document of questions we have for you?
Yeah,
Are you reading ahead?
Send him the Google Drive link. He's in on us.
Tangerine Dream's the great unifier. So I think one of the reasons Mick and Konrad and I got on so well was in the initial interview, they were like, tell us a score. They'd sent me like 2 very rough cut screeners of the episodes in season 1. And they're like, tell us a score you think you could drop in there. And I said, honestly, Tangerine Dream, Risky Business. And they were like, that's the right answer. That's exactly what we were thinking of.
Boom.
Amazing.
Money.
Nathan, I have to go. I trust that Sena and Gabriel are going to finish this interview strong. I have to bounce, unfortunately. But thank you so much for your time. This was amazing.
My pleasure.
Gabriel can attest, like, whenever we're talking about movies, he's like, you know, he makes an outline and I come out of the gate being like, let's talk about the score. And he's like, all right, slow your roll, big dog.
Jesse's definitely your biggest fan.
I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much, man.
He's such a fan.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's a funny thing with this score. Like I've worked on quite a few shows at this point and I, you know, read about other shows and it's like rare, I think, to see a score get any attention at all. So I'm thankful people seem to connect with it.
Yeah, no, people are obsessed with you. We have a couple more here. I want to know what you think about the Euphoria score by Labyrinth.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Like, I don't know his work outside of that score, but...
You don't listen to Labyrinth?
I honestly listen to like folk music on my spare time.
Oh my God.
That's cool.
So like if you looked at my record collection right now, half of it's like Alex G and then the rest of it's like old folk music, like Donovan. No, that's not true. I listen to other stuff too. But pretty much, yeah, I mean, that was really, I get very intimidated by scores like that because I can't sing. And just the idea of being able to use my voice like that is very amazing. I wish I could just like whip out a mic and capture that, whereas I have to like source a singer, which is annoying.
Yeah. You listen to like Jason Isbell in your free time, like country folk, or are you doing like just folk, like true American, hard American?
So going back to like grade 7, 8, and 9, I was listening to country music for sure.
Damn, word, Nathan?
No, it's like, okay.
Cowboy boots and all?
I was listening to like a lot of Canadian country music in Toronto because they played in the locker for hockey.
Gordon Lightfoot.
No, I'd consider that like straight up a folk. Like, yeah, like Edmund Fitzgerald, that's a Canadian. Like, I'm talking your guys like Paul Brand.
Okay.
But I was looking like
Rivalry?
Some Saskatchewan shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Living heated Rivalry back in high school. I don't know. You know, whatever
like
you're
his
into.
biggest song was literally called Alberta Bound.
Let's hit some classic scores. So you already mentioned Vangelis. How about that Blade Runner score? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's the Mona Lisa as far as I'm concerned.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I think a more obvious influence on my work for industry would be Chariots of Fire, especially with that like, like when you listen to Chariots of Fire and like the industry theme, it's pretty clear influence, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, I looked him for, I love just watching YouTube videos of him fiddling around with synths and just having like all these synths with a cigarette in his mouth. And it's just so.
What about Shawshank Redemption?
Who did that?
Thomas Newman.
Thomas Newman.
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you want to talk Thomas Newman, the score that directly had the biggest influence from him on industry would be Less Than Zero.
Oh,
that was
nice.
One of the first
Love
score.
That book.
I've never seen the movie because I always heard it got butchered. But if you'd say the score's good, I gotta.
The score is unbelievable, and it's kind of like this holy grail score. If you want to buy the score on vinyl, it's incredibly hard to find. And I think it's actually only on CD. I thought about trying to reissue it years ago, but the amount of people involved, I gave up pretty quickly. But that's one of the first scores I listened to where he uses synth in a way that's so orchestral and thick. And I really tried to bring that same sensibility over to industry. I mean, Thomas Newman's like a goat, like the goat, pretty much.
Well, I wonder if this next guy's a goat. Fellow Torontonian Howard Shore and The Lord of the Rings. I know that's no synth at all, but I'm curious what you think of that score.
Yeah, I mean, I don't consider Lord of the Rings to be a film score. I consider it to be like an archival, important piece of history. My favorite thing when I think about that is the scene where it's like they light the lanterns. It's like a minute and a half.
The beacons, yeah.
The top comment on the YouTube is just like Howard Shore they were like, we're going to do some beacons lighting. He's like, hold my beer. And it's
that meme of like the guy with the piano on fire, you know,
I get exhausted when I listen to that score because I just think about how much work it probably was to not only just like compose it, but assemble the players, record it, the amount of people you have to find. It's incredible.
I was watching him accept the Oscar for it, and he was so just like chill and matter of fact. Like, I was like, man, you just made the greatest film score ever. Like, show a little enthusiasm. But no, he was just a cool, calm Canadian. So that was cool of him.
Well, if I could throw out one more.
You do it. Yeah. Dealer's choice.
From the Newman family. I don't think people realize how like thick the Newmans go in scoring. You got Randy Newman, who did like Toy Story and stuff. And then David Newman, who did, I believe it's Thomas's father or uncle, did the Mighty Ducks.
Nice. Love that one.
Listening to the Mighty Ducks theme this morning, because sometimes I just need that, boost. It really is one of the best themes ever written, in my opinion.
Wow.
It's so malleable. Even like the really nice quiet one he has with like an oboe and some woodwinds. It's unbelievably good. And the comments are all exact what I'm thinking. Like, this literally is the best theme ever written, and nobody even loves it.
All right. Well, Nathan Micay, the composer for Industry, the man setting the tone for the show, amongst many other great collaborators. But yeah, we just love your work, Nathan. So thank you so much for everything you do and for putting us into weird headspaces every Sunday night for the past few years.
You've hurt me. I have psychic damage from this season when what you did, but I forgive you. I do. We can still be friends.
I appreciate that, and I'm sorry if I talked you guys off on tangents. I have
no, not at all.